Okay. Okay. I'm back now. Um, so yeah. Uh, where we're here. Last time you see me, I think I was starting this specific project, and as you can see too, if you go in, where was it? Started getting a lot more plays on SoundCloud for some odd reason. I don't know why, but anyways, been pretty good. The reason why for the little bit of the absence there. I was actually in the works of getting a new audio interface. So, yeah, I got a pretty cool, I guess, Zoom Live Track L12. It's amazing. That's what I'm using right now to do my audio here. I absolutely love it. But, anyways, let's get back onto it. You know, so uh, last time we were here, this was some sort of like dubsteppy kind of. It had like this melody to it. I believe I don't know some plucky melody that I had, but since then it has changed quite a bit. So I will just kind of go through it bit by bit. So I have this cool thing here. I didn't even know too. If you want to like control and drag it, you'll drag this whole section over, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I have this intro here. Basically, I'm gonna go through each part and just explain what I did. Pretty simple. So basically, I got this like mellow guitar here that I got from Native Instruments, and then I got like these splice vocals. I kind of like them, so I just decided to use them with this song. It's hard to read your face. Our love is fed with lies, but you don't seem to care. That's basically it for that. For the build up, I wanted to just make it sound a little bit thicker. So I revoiced this whole thing here, right? So essentially, they're kind of different chords because I found when I went with more, I guess you could say, root position chords for these ones. And for some odd reason, it didn't do it with this, but I was just looking for a certain sound, certain octave for this specific guitar to play. You'll see. It's kind of. So I noticed when I used it in this specific octave, the guitar actually didn't use like super low notes, and it sounded really good with the other guitar. Obviously not finished. I could add quite a bit to this just to make it sound a little bit more thicker, but my main focus was the drop here. So essentially, what I did, I'm gonna show you the drums first. I'll show you everything after. Let me just play it for you. I'll play it. So as you can see, I have done quite a bit of work since the last time you've seen this project. Still sounds very empty. I got to fill out the frequency spectrum there. It's a little bit dry too, but I also like the dryness. But I'm gonna go over the drums first. So basically, all I did was I took this like sub here. I made a sub, right, and then I made this kick here, and then so essentially for this, I don't know why I do it like this. You could just get a regular kick if you want. It's just what I do. So I just cut it at 200, and then I'm cutting this at about 3. So I'm just using the high end of the first kick or the second kick and the low end of the first kick. That's all I'm doing. So that's how it sounds. And then the other thing that I did too was I shortened it. So both of these were actually pretty long, and this is just like, hold on, wait, my eyes itchy. This is like actual like not actual like, but just from experience, I noticed like when the kick is very long and takes up a lot of room, it doesn't really allow for the other instruments to breathe. So I kind of wanted the kick to be very short and very punchy, and it just allows for a better mix. I find, and just everything's nice and tight. I could, don't have to worry about like the other releases of these and stuff like that. So it's very tight, So, and then I got this. I got this. Oh, I don't want to. So yeah, this is the snare. I kind of just layered it with this. I got this. It's kind of like the one thing that I noticed about this snare was that it didn't really have too much attack. I wanted it to be very punchy, so I added this. This actually has quite a bit of that, and they kind of very much complement each other, right? I will mix this a bit more. For now, I was literally just focusing on the, whatchamacallit, the, like, producing, not really so much mixing. And then I found this, like, really cool, like, cymbal crash. It's slight, but it's pretty cool. Then I also got these hi-hats that I got. I'm going to add more for the second one. This is like the second part of the drop here, and it's kind of empty. So I was going to have like a drum fill here and then have like a huge crash and, what's it called? Hi-hat rolls and stuff like that. And then in the second part of the drop, actually, I do change it up a bit. So just for the second part, I kind of... So yeah, that's basically the drums that I got so far. There's quite a bit of stuff I am gonna do. I like to add in little like, perks. I like to mess with the perks and stuff like that. But for now, that's just what I got. Next, I'm gonna go through like this vocal chop that I have. It's actually the vocal, so I just chopped her voice up. Usually, I like to do a lot with the chops, but like, I like them to be very like out of place, kind of a thing. Kind of more range, but she doesn't really sing too much notes. The notes that I wanted. I mean, I could just pitch them, but I really like I really like it to sound. Sometimes when you pitch it too much, I find that it like you can't get this like clarity that you want, or like the clearness. So essentially, I put faders on all of these like little, I guess chops that I got here, and I just used what I could. And if I had to, I was gonna pitch it, but I just, for some odd reason, these chops right here do quite a bit, and it's going into a bus. So I have a bus, and it's kind of like a little altar boy right there. I'm pretty sure these are. Let me just check quick, because I don't think, are these in the same? Hold on. Covered up with lines. It's hard to read your face. Oh yeah, I have that. 3 semitones just to change up the thing. Just wanted to double check. So I'm gonna solo these quickly, right? And I'm just gonna show you what I got here. This is like a preset that I made. Like, I like these specific cool vocal chops, and I kind of just tweak it as I use it. It's here, let me just go through the things here. So basically, I don't know what this does, but to me, it really does make for a better. It really just brings a lot more clarity, I guess, is what you could say. To me, it kind of takes out a little bit of like the tonality of it. It's more darker, I guess you could say. I don't know, but yeah, I like the way it makes it sound. Obviously, you know, I got the low cuts here. I kind of boosted the mids there. I actually could use a little bit of brightness. And I also have this. So basically what that is doing is just... Here, hold on. Is I just found it further, like, brought a lot more... I guess, like, shifted the vocals a little bit, like, in terms of the tonality of what I was talking about right here. And for some odd reason, even though I shouldn't put this over top of this, it just made it sound... It brought some sort of sound that I liked. So I'll just kind of do it A and B. So as you can see, I guess you could say it brings a little bit of distortion to it. And then I just, you know, good old OTT, I brought this down, boosted these up. I think I got about like 10% there. Yeah. I have this Neutron plugin. This is essentially saturation. And I have this EQ. I'm kind of... that basically speaks for itself. Essentially, I'm just boosting a little bit of this, boosting, you know, that. I don't even know why I did that. I think that was just... It's not more mixing, but more, you know... Then I got this. That speaks for itself. It's just the vocal pitching. I'm pitching the vocals there. And I got like this weird compression thing that I'm doing here. I don't even know if I'm doing anything here. Let's just see. Yeah, just a slight bit of compression there. And I'm EQing again. I don't know why I'm EQing so much, but pretty sure there's a method to my madness. Again, these are all not mixing things. This is just... I'm essentially doing the opposite of what you should do, essentially, in this, because... You know, there's methods, you know, you would never see anybody EQ something 3 times, you know what I mean? So I was just trying my best to essentially, you know, what's the word? I don't know why that's going to that right there. I'll just put it to the kick. But essentially, you wouldn't EQ it 3 times, you know. I'm actually doing this for production. I'm looking for a certain sound. And to me, really, the mixing aspect doesn't really make sense, you know. When I go in and mix this on top of this, or maybe I'll bus it, maybe I'll mix it differently, but for now, I'm looking just for a specific sound. I'm not mixing right now. I'm just using these as production tools, essentially. And I think for this one, I added a flare. Because without it, it just essentially, it doesn't sound the same, and I just wanted this part to sound the same, different. And it just makes it sound a little bit more distorty, I guess. And then, of course, you know, I have a busing to a, you know, a bus there. So yeah, that's what I did with the vocals. Let me go over the bass here. Let's go over the chords. So I have 2 different chords. So this is literally just me messing around. So I have this. This is the first. You can copy that if you want, but I'm just using that in this drop. I have a preset from Serum here. And then for the third one, I have a... Originally, this was like wide, and it was very much, how do you explain it? the release, the decay, the sustain was a little bit higher, and it was just essentially what this was. It was like some sort of like soft pluck, but I wanted it shorter, so I just kind of fixed it. Then I have this. I have this weird thing that I preset that I downloaded from Splice. I thought it was kind of cool. I kind of really mess with this. And this is just some sort of like another thing that I downloaded. And then all together, and then for the mixing part, I do have a linear EQ. I just find it's better for cutting for some reason, cutting out stuff. I have a transient, and I just kind of lower the sustain and up the attack, just so it's much more tighter, essentially, and then giving room for other instruments to breathe. I have this too, presence. I just did whatever I could, whatever I thought sounded good. Nothing really specific. And then I have this sausage fatter. I put on way on this side, then tiny 2%. And then this LFO tool is what really helps the beat breathe, I guess. So essentially, what I did was the LFO tool is my sidechaining. So I'm sidechaining with this. So as some of you may know, with sidechaining, you can't really how do I say? You can't really connect it to the kick, which I find is pretty cool. Because it may be a little bit more work, but side chaining it like this will really, really help your kick breathe. So if you listen to it, I'm gonna kind of like bypass this just so you can see. So. Now I'm going to play without it. Right? So it just allows the kick to sound more thicker. So that's basically what the LFO tool, that's what I'm using it for. I mean, you could go into and just literally, you could bounce all this out. And essentially do the same thing with the audio that you got there. So, but yeah, no. tedious work doing sidechain stuff. Right here, just kind of accenting these right here. I have this right here. So that's basically it. I just took a some sort of rhythm sound that I heard. I'm kind of getting into rhythm sounds for some reason. They sound pretty cool. I mix it with this. I got this. Then I have this sound. And then I have this sound. And then all together, they just sound like this. And yeah, that's basically it. Nothing special. This right here I was going to use, but I decided just to leave it out. This was part of the original drop, and it was just supposed to be some sort of like super saw wave thing, but I just ended up taking it out. I found it just made everything worse, I guess. But I literally did the same thing with this, but I wasn't really too. I was just more so like dragged over what we had in the other LFO tool. So this is basically the same. So I didn't have to do it twice. So yeah, you can clearly hear it, just absolutely just destroying, like ducking the bass like hardcore. You don't really notice it too much because the kick kind of replaces all those frequencies, but it's kind of a cool effect. But here's what I use for this. I just kind of have this super... Oh, hey, wait. Let's just get rid of that one. We don't need that. So this is what I got here. This is essentially just a regular old bass. It's like just in your face. You can copy all this if you want. And then essentially this is only a why do I got LFO tools all over? This is literally a synth stack. It's like literally a synth. And I'm just playing a really low note. I just found that it really brought out the synth a lot, and it's just it creates for like, it just widens it. It's in your face. And altogether, it just sounds like this. And as you can see, oh shoot, I can't even undo that. Anyways, actually, can I delete that? Yes, I can. Right here. So if I go right here, the chords will sound a little bit different, and that's on purpose in the first part of the drop. And right here, I'm kind of just, I lowered this thing right here, right. It's just a little bit more softer, it's a softer part of the drop. So essentially I got two different basses and two different chords, and the reason for that is you got to draw this in, and as you can see I got two different drum patterns, so I had to essentially, this one was more easier to do. So this is the LFO tool here. See, so that's where it is right there. So and yeah, that's basically why I got two different side chains. But yeah, no, this is the first part. So obviously it's not done. The producing side is still, the beat seems very empty, the drop. There's a lot that I could add. I think I need to add like stuff like crashes, white noise. I need to add in a lot more stuff that'll fill out those frequencies, because right now what I like to do is I like to essentially yeah, I really need to, fill up those frequencies and stuff like that. And, there's a certain point where I like how I like my frequencies to look. So essentially, I will eventually have a reference track. Right. As you can see, there's not much frequencies here. Like, normally, the lower frequency would be low, much more higher, there's lots of frequencies here that are more resonant. These are a lot more lower than that. So that's where the white noise would come in. So yeah, no, basically got a lot to do, but it's going in the right way. So but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I was just literally just going on what I did, in this beat or this song essentially, and I hope you found this helpful. Sorry I didn't show the production of me making this. I've been so busy. I've literally been so busy at work. I haven't had time to record lately and stuff like that. But I did make a little bit of an investment, and it's worth it. I gotta tell you about it. It's a essentially one, two, three, four, eight physical tracks and two extra tracks for your USB play. So basically, it's how I'm able to produce, or not produce. It's how I'm able to mix essentially. So this thing is like bringing in the audio from my computer, and essentially it's taking it in, and I can mix with it. I'm a very analogy guy. When I first started mixing music in school, we actually used a lot of analog stuff. So I like the bridge between digital because I've gotten used to digital, but I like, I'll be able to print tracks. So wait, hold on. Actually, maybe I could show you how I'll do that in another video. But yeah, you could print tracks. I could actually make whole masters of this and stuff like that. This whole thing, and it's awesome. I just love it. It's a great investment. It's the Zoom LiveTrack L12. Anyways, blabbering on for too long. Hope you enjoy your day and peace out. Huh?